How they not done that?
$1 million idea, Jesse.
I know, I've had two now. The other one about like trueblackclothes.com.
You have to like workshop that website, maybe.
Yes.
Yeah.
True.
I feel like that might not end up the way you want it.
Thank you. Yeah.
No problem.
As
That's what I'm
created
here for.
by a white guy. Do you want me to get it started? Why don't you start and I'll kind of come in.
morning. Welcome to Seattle Unity and welcome to those of you at home. Please stand if you're able and join us in this joyous tune. 1, 2, 3, 4. Joy, joy, I still got joy. Joy, joy, I still got joy. Joy, joy, I still got joy. After all I've been through, I still got joy. Joy, joy, I still got joy. Joy, joy, I still got joy. Joy, joy, I still got joy. After all I've been through, I still got joy. Love, 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 I still got love. Love, love, I still got love. Love, love, I still got love. After all I've been through, I still got love. Peace, 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 I still got peace. Peace, peace, I still got peace. Peace, peace, I still got peace. After all I've been through, I still got peace. Let us pray.
And so we do turn our attention within as we know the truth of our opening statement. There is but one presence and one power in my life and in the universe, God the good, omnipotence.
Let's start with faith. How about faith? 1, 2. Faith, faith, I still got faith. Faith, faith, I still got faith. Faith, faith, I still got faith. After all I've been through, I still got faith. Now joy, 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 I still got joy. Joy, joy, I still got joy. Joy, joy, I still got joy. After all I've been through, I still got joy. Welcome, please be seated.
Good morning and welcome to Seattle Unity, both in-house and at home. If you're watching from home, please type in your name so that we can say hello to you at the end of the service. So this is Pet Blessing Sunday. So if you did bring an animal with you, we're going to bless the dogs downstairs on the first floor on the patio. And if you brought a picture of an animal or your kitty, you can bring your picture up front. So we will be blessing the animals following the service. And for those of you at home, we'll have a special prayer during the talk so that you can bless your animals at home. So whose pug is this? Can you keep him with you just because they're, that would be great. All right.
But not Hazel. Hazel's cool. She's here.
Hazel's the boss's dog, so she gets to do what she wants. All right, let's turn to our vision statement together. We are an accessible and inclusive spiritual sanctuary for all ages and stages of life. We offer spiritual practices and a community that honors diversity and encourages self-empowerment. We co-create a world that works for all. Amen. So announcements, we're going to have, Kurt is leading a meeting following the service on the third floor for a party that we're planning, and Carolyn will be there as well. For the party will be in November. So it's called A Taste of Tuscany. So if you have any ideas about that, we invite you to come and join us. So our question to our people at home are, what animals feel especially sacred to you? So that said, let's all stand and greet one another.
Stay standing as you are able. This one's really easy. Start with we come a long, long way together. You'll catch on easy. We come a long, long way together through the hard times and the good. I got to celebrate the journey. I got to praise you like I should. 1, 2. I got to praise you. I got to praise you. I got to praise you. One more. I got to praise you like I should. 1, 2. We come a long, long way together through the hard times and the good. I got to celebrate the journey. I got to praise you like I should. 1, 2. I got to praise you. Yeah, yeah. I got to praise you. I got to praise you. One more. I got to praise you like I should. Let's do a dance break with those dogs. Go. One, two. We come a long, long way together through the hard times and the good. I got to celebrate the journey. I got to praise you like I should. 1, 2. I got to praise you. Hey. I got to praise you. I got to praise you. I got to praise you like I should. I got to praise you. 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 Here it is. I got to praise you like I should. Well done. Look at those dogs' tails wagging. I love it. In the center of every unity service, we make time for a meditation. It's going to be a little noisier than usual today, probably, with some dogs running or saying hi to each other from across the room. But our first step into this new contemplative space comes through a reading from the fabulous Jennifer Bowles. Please come.
Good morning. So this is from St. Francis of Assisi, and it is Canticle of Brother Sun and Sister Moon. Praised be you, my Lord, with all your creatures, especially Sir Brother Sun, who is the day through whom you give us light, and he is beautiful and radiant with great splendor. Praised be you, my Lord, through Sister Moon, and the stars in the heavens, you have made them bright, precious, and fair. Praised be you, my Lord, through brothers Wind and Air, and fair and stormy all weathers' moods, by which you cherish all that you have made. Praised be you, my Lord, through Sister Water, so useful, humble, precious, and pure. Praised be you, my Lord, through Brother Fire, through whom you light the night, and is beautiful and playful and robust and strong. Praise be you, my Lord, through our sister, Mother Earth, who sustains and governs us, producing varied fruits with colored flowers and herbs.
As we continue the contemplative time, please join me in singing a chant, Sa Ta Na Ma, which was a favorite of Sada Simran's. I'll sing it through once, then you'll join me. Sa Ta Na Ma, Sa Ta Na Ma, Sa Ta Na Ma, Sa Ta Na Ma. Everyone. Sa Ta Na Ma, 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 Sa
to the world with care, my love, and speak the things you see. Let new names take and root and thrive and grow. And even as you travel far from heather, crag, and river, may you, like the little fisher, set the stream alight with glitter, and may you enter as the otter without falter into water. Look to the sky with care, my love, and speak the things you see. Let new names take and root and thrive and grow. And even as you journey on past dying stars exploding, like the gilded one in flight, leave your little gifts of light. And in the dead of night, my darling, find the gleaming eye of starling, like the little aviator. Sing your heart to all dark matter. Through the world with care, my love, and sing the things you see. Let new names take and root and thrive and grow. And even as you stumble through the wild sands eroding, let the fern unfurl your grieving. Let the heron still your breathing. Let the selkie swim you deeper. Oh, my little silver seeker. Even as the hour grows bleaker, be the singer and the speaker. And in city and in forest, let the larks become your chorus. And when every hope is gone, let the raven sing you home.
Dogs in. So this week we acknowledge St. Francis and his love for the earth and creatures of the earth. And Jen read the canticle of Brother Sun, Sister Moon. I'm just going to do a couple verses from that. Praise be you, my Lord, with all your creatures, especially Brother Sun, who is the day through whom you give us light. Praise be you, my Lord, through Sister Moon and the stars. So we know that in this canticle that St. Francis is calling upon all the creatures of the earth and the wind and the fire and the sun and the moon and just embracing all of it. So across the country today, churches are including animal blessings in their services in honor of St. Francis. And so, as I said earlier, if you did bring your little four-legged fur friend, join us on the first floor on the patio following the service, and we'll have the chaplains and others bless them. And if you brought a picture of your animal or your kitty, you might want to come up here following the service, and we can bless that picture. So today we're blessing the animals, but in truth, it is they who bless us. When you think about your dog, your cat, your bird, whatever you may have, the love that they give us is so much bigger than what we give them. And I have been lucky in my life that I have always had a pet living in my home. My cat, Jinx, was my constant companion from the time I was 7 until I was 20. So she was I didn't have a doll that I played with my cat. I think I've shared this before, but I dressed her up in doll clothes, I fed her a bottle, put her in a little buggy, walked her around the neighborhood, and people would say, "Oh, that poor cat," you know. But she was there for me through so many experiences in my life, as I'm sure your pets have been there for you. I've since had the privilege of living with many cats, many dogs, a couple of guinea pigs named Sarah and Ray Ray, a parrot named Max, and a duck named Sam. My dad at Easter, he said, "Go to the pet store and bring home a duck." We lived in the middle of the city, so I had this duck, and the duck was pretty amazing, actually, but he annoyed the neighbors because he would wake up at dawn and go, "Wah, wah, 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 wah." So eventually he had to go live in a zoo. At least that's what my parents told me. So although our animals are work and an expense and a responsibility, they add humor, joy, love, companionship, and richness to life. And they have also left us broken-hearted and devastated when they die. And how many of us have gone through this probably more times than we can count. I know some people have said to me, "I will never get another dog or another cat because I cannot have my heart broken again like I had with this last pet." So Netflix has a show called Inside the Mind of a Dog, and it was fascinating, and it covered the training of dogs, the ones that are going to be companion animals to people who are in wheelchairs or in need, and they teach the dogs to like open doors and turn off lights, and it's quite amazing. And now they're also working with them because they said their nose is so amazing that they can sniff a place and they can smell it three-dimensionally. So we use our eyes to see, but they use their noses for that. So they're using dogs, obviously, to sniff out drugs, weapons, and now they're using dogs to sniff out disease like cancer and diabetes. So they're just, one of the things that was interesting about this program is I said, we've lived with dogs forever, but we've never really gotten into their minds to see who these companions are that live with us. I know that now one of the popular things is to get these buttons with words on them so the dog can push the button and let you know what's going on. And there's a dog in Tacoma named Bunny that has a YouTube channel or something. And Bunny's fascinating with these buttons. Although the last one I saw, because there's 2 other dogs in the house, Bunny hits the button and says, "Upstairs, upstairs, upstairs." And she goes, "Upstairs? What's upstairs?" And then she pushes another button with another dog's name. And she goes, "No, dog's right here. Dog's not upstairs." And then he pushes another button that says, "Poo." So he's telling on his other dog. My neighbor next door said that one of his friends bought those buttons, and he said the dog was constantly playing, "Play outside, play outside, play outside, play outside." So he said he took the buttons and threw them away. My daughter had a dog named Moxie, and when she decided not to play soccer, she was in college and she was on the soccer team, and she decided her last year of college that she wasn't going to play anymore. And she knew that she would kind of go into an identity crisis because her whole life, she'd been an athlete. She played basketball, soccer, baseball, softball, all of it. And so she knew that this year would be a year of changing for her. And so she came to me and she said, "I want to get a dog. I want to get my own dog because I need something that's going to help carry me through this transitional period in my life. What a wise daughter. I swear, she amazes me. So we found Moxie on Whidbey Island, a cockapoo who was loving, loyal, and brilliant. And she taught her tricks. They went on hikes, and she was with her as much as possible. I'd like for us to see a picture of Moxie, a slide of Moxie. So this is us on a hike to, I think it's called Lake 22. And somehow for me, this picture just encapsulates her relationship with Moxie. And especially it being out in the woods and the tree, and that there's this connection between her and this dog and this nature. So even though Moxie was with her as much as possible, Caroline was still in college, and she needed help taking care of her, so Moxie would stay with her girlfriends. So Moxie got around. She was staying at all kinds of people's houses, and when Caroline graduated from college, Moxie was there. When Caroline moved home for a while, Moxie was there. And when she got her own apartment, Moxie went with her. And when she was on her second date with her future husband, she wanted to introduce him to Moxie. And Moxie ran down the stairs and jumped into his arms. And he said, "That's when I knew Caroline was the one." Moxie came down with a fatal illness at the age of 8. And her death was devastating, devastating. It was so awful. And Caroline's friends, those that she went to college with who lived in Seattle, called me up and they said, "We want to have a memorial service for Moxie." I was like, "Oh, okay." So there were more people in attendance at that dog service than I've seen at some people's. And when it came time for the eulogy, a number of people spoke about how Moxie had touched their lives. So Moxie touched the lives of many. And again, she was the only dog I know that got eulogized, during a service. I have since, I'm glad the picture's gone, but I had that picture, I don't know how many of you remember Melissa West, but she was doing chalk drawings, and she did a chalk painting of that. And I had it done quite a while ago with the intention of giving it to Caroline when Moxie died, but I thought that would be 7 years from now, so she now has that in her possession. So our pets can help ground us and bring us a connection with nature. So this is especially true for those of us who grew up and or live in the city, because we can sometimes feel cut off from nature, especially from wildlife. So in caring for an animal, it's a way that we connect to the earth. So this past week, we have seen the devastation that was wreaked by Hurricane Helene. It started in Florida as a Category 4, and then it moved into North Carolina, to Georgia, to Tennessee. And the town of Jonesboro, Tennessee, is pretty much gone. Now, what's interesting about Jonesboro, which you may not know, is that it is said to be the storytelling capital of the world. When I was in ministerial school, we rented a bus, and a group of us drove to Jonesboro to attend this storytelling convention. And it's always been one of those things that's like, oh, I got to get back there one of these days. But it's not easy to get to because it's up in the mountains, so it's not like you just fly in and you're there. But the town had tents everywhere, and all day you would just go from story to story to story to story, and those stories still stay with me. And so that town is now pretty much gone. And a friend of mine in Florida lost both his cars and his house. So in times of devastation, we see people stepping up to help all the time. We see neighbors checking on each other, bringing in supplies, because entire towns have been wiped out, and over 200 people have died, and there's still so many that are unaccounted for. They didn't see this coming, and we still don't know what the total damage is. So one of the things that we're doing today is we're collecting money to be sent to the Humane Society, since we're honoring dogs, and the Red Cross. and we're going to direct our tithe, part of our church tithe, directly to that organization. So I think we have, so if you're so inclined to make a donation, and we will make sure that it goes right to the Red Cross and the Humane Society, all you have to do is type outreach so that the funds get to the right place. You know, these climate change, these kinds of things are happening more and more. So I invite you just to give to that. So thank you. And you can give through the text, you can give through cash, or you can give through the website. So some of our Unity churches in the Southeast are also experiencing difficulty, and Unity put out a prayer. So I'd like for us just to stop for a minute and to bless this situation. So I invite you to center in whatever way works for you. Precious Spirit, we know that in the worst of times, we are called to face what's before us and do all we can to encourage the best of humanity to come forth. So in the wake of destruction left by Helene, we see overcoming grace taking place right now. We don't know how this is going to happen, yet we have a deep, abiding faith with God that can move mountains of human doubt. So we in Unity stand strong in God with those who may feel weak today, and we join our hearts in healing prayer with those experiencing loss. We take a moment to breathe, to freely connect with the one presence in all the life forms that have been affected. And we hold that there is no one and nothing that can come between you and the God of your being. So we affirm that love's peace is coming and restoring you right now. May you be free from danger. May you have mental happiness. May you have physical happiness, and may you have ease of well-being. So we praise the divine strength that is working in and through you, giving you what you need in the fullness of time. And we know beyond the shadow of a doubt that Christ's light guides your way. May our prayers be a healing balm to all those in need. And so, Spirit, we thank you for being an active channel of God's presence. And for this, we are grateful. Amen. So we are living in strange times, in case you hadn't noticed. There's an asteroid called 2024 PTS. Apparently it's the size of a school bus, and it's going to orbit the Earth from now until November 25th. It's called a mini-moon. We're also having unprecedented solar storms right now, which the positive of that is we might get the northern lights. In Earth.com, Eric Rawls said, a G3 geomagnetic solar storm watch remains in effect until October 7th. When the sun releases these bursts of energy, they send streams of charged particles toward the Earth. If these particles interact with our planet's magnetic field, they can stir up geomagnetic storms. While we might not feel the storms directly, anybody having trouble sleeping? They can disrupt satellite communications and GPS systems and even affect power grids. So I know that there was one on Monday and Horizon went out. The cell service just went out like all around the country. I heard Bank of America had issues. So it's interesting that these things are happening. So it might feel as if we're living in a science fiction novel right now. The political climate has us on edge. We're called to vote our conscience. So this month we are looking for wisdom from Gen X. Where are you, Gen X? We need you. So this generation experienced the early waves of environmental activism. Earth Day was established in 1970, and reduce, reuse, and recycle became a cultural mantra as they were coming of age. Gen X witnessed the growing concerns about pollution, deforestation, and the depletion of natural resources. So they aren't just earth conscious out of obligation, they have a deep reverence for it. So pets, gardens, sustainable living is part of their lives. And while technology surged forward, Gen X finds balance in the organic, in the creatures, and the ecosystems around us. So, this earth-keeping mindset reflects their understandings that we are caretakers of the earth, not conquerors. So they've moved away from the concept that's found in Genesis chapter 1. In this scripture, I think we have taken it to extreme lengths. And it says this: "And God said, let us make man in our image after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creeps upon the earth." So God created man in his image. In the image of God he created him. Male and female he created them, and God blessed them and said, "Be fruitful and multiply, replenish the earth, and subdue it." I think we've done a great job of doing that, don't you think? "And have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over every living thing that moves upon the earth." So we've taken this scripture to heart, and we have taken dominion of the earth and the creatures of the earth. So previous generations have taught that nature is something to control and something to exploit. But Gen X sees themselves as part of the broader web of life, not above it. In this way, they resonate with the teachings of St. Francis, acknowledging that animals and the earth are not here for us to dominate, but for us to nurture, to respect, and to protect. So this awareness was seeded in them as children, and it's probably one of the greatest legacies that we face as we face climate change. I think that this is more in alignment with Native American and earth wisdom. So what if we moved away from dominating nature and embraced some of the more Native American teachings, like looking ahead to the 7th generation? So the 7th generation principle is based on the Haudenosaunee philosophy. This is from an Iroquois tribe, and they said it goes back to the 1500s or maybe even the 1200s. And basically it says that the decisions that we make should result in a sustainable world 7 generations from now. So this encourages long-term thinking instead of instant gratification. So I was thinking about, okay, so what's 7 generations from now, and what was 7 generations in the past? So 7 generations is about 150 years, give or take. And 7 generations ago in the past was 1850. So what was happening 150 years ago? Land expansion. There was an increase in immigration, particularly from Europe. Tensions around slavery that eventually led to the Civil War. Inventions that included the first sewing machine, the first elevator, and the first productive oil well in the United States. So we look 7 generations later. Okay, so what did we get from that? So what have we gained? Well, we got skyscrapers because we have elevators, so we might as well keep going up. We got clothes and fashion from the first sewing machines. And the descendants of immigrants during that period are now 3rd or 4th generation Americans. And the United States has expanded. But at what cost did this come? There was a decimation of the native peoples. The use of oil has led to unprecedented progress, but also unprecedented pollution as well. So we see that there's there's two sides to every coin. So these wonderful ideas and these wonderful inventions also had a downside. So what if each generation stopped and thought about, okay, so we're creating this, and granted, many times we don't know what this new, we don't know what AI is going to do 150 years from now. We can imagine it, but we don't know. So 7 generations from now takes us to the year 2175. So if we take into account the people in the world in 2175, how does this change your behavior today? Again, we've seen that new inventions are wonderful and lead to progress, but they can also lead to destruction. So we need to be mindful about what we are creating and bringing. We're experiencing the result of short-sightedness with the effects of climate change. So we know that every small effort has a ripple effect through the generations. So let us adopt practices that honor the earth, whether it's reducing waste, planting trees, supporting sustainable initiatives, so that we can begin to restore balance between humans and nature. So how do we do this? Well, there's a Lakota phrase that looks at all life as all my relations. And I think we feel that with our pets. They're part of our family. They're like our children in some ways. They are a part of us. They are our daemons. But this idea expresses the interconnectedness of all life, of humans, animals, plants, and the earth itself. So everything is a part of a larger web of existence. So when we care for the earth and its creatures, we're caring for ourselves. And many Native American cultures view the earth as a living, sacred entity, which we also now see since we've seen it from space. And when we see the earth as sacred, it inspires hope by reminding us that every small act of reverence, whether it's caring for the animals or whatever, has a spiritual significance. This sacred relationship teaches that the earth will heal if treated with love, care, and respect. So as we close today, let's reflect on the legacy that we're creating. Because just as St. Francis lived in harmony with the earth and its creatures, we too are called to embrace this sacred relationship. The Canticle of Brother Sun reminds us to see the beauty in all creation, from the light of the sun to the moon to our school bus that's going to be orbiting the earth, our asteroid soon. So when we bless our pets today, we acknowledge the profound ways they bless us and connect us to the natural world. So I just would like to take a moment for those of you who left your pet at home, and for those of you who are at home, just take a moment to hold your cat, your dog, whoever you have in your heart. We bless, and I'd like you to speak your animal's name. We bless, seeing him, her safe, healthy, and overflowing with the joy of life. We give thanks for the blessing that this animal is in my life, and the unconditional love that we share. The love of God surrounds and uplifts, and we are grateful for our animals. So Gen X has moved us from the idea of dominion to one of stewardship. So as we face the challenges that are before us, it's easy to be overwhelmed. But let's just take it a day at a time, because as we go forth, we remember that the earth is not ours to dominate, but ours to protect, love, and cherish. So today, let us commit to the future where the earth in all its beauty continues to thrive. And for this, we are truly grateful. Amen. All right, Hazel. Okay, so we come to that time in our service where we share our tithes and our love offerings. And if somebody also could bring me the prayers from the prayer box, thank you. Thank you, Mark. So I invite you to give either through texting or through the website or through cash or check, but know that that as you give, you do receive, that it creates a vacuum, and this too is a spiritual practice. So let's affirm together. I give willingly, joyfully, and lovingly, knowing that God is the constant source of my supply. I give with graciousness and receive with gratitude.
This is Joe Allen.
Squirrel in the tree, is he watching me? Does he give a damn? Does he care who I am? I'm just a man, is that all I am? Are my manners misinterpreted? Words are only human, I'm human. Na, 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 na. Murderous crow, hey, what you know? What you reading about? What you holding your toes? Is that a twig or you a dove a piece? Black dove undercover with another puzzle piece, y'all. Oh, you a riddle to solve all alone. Am I overthinking thoughts of matters? Human after all, only human. Made of flesh, made of sand, just like you, man. Planets talking about a revolution. The natural laws ain't got no constitution. They got a right to live their own life, but we keep paving over paradise, cause we're only human. Yes, we are only human. If that's our only excuse, how do you think we keep on being only human? Yes, we are only human, so far, so far. Under the major's tree, the one he planted back when he was just a boy, thinking 1923. Grew 30 meters and a foot. You take a look, you take a climb. What you find is the product of a seed. The seed is grown, yeah, all alone. It grows above into a heart of love, a sharp shelter of the animals of land and cold weather breathing. We're all breathing here. The planet's talking about a revolution. The natural laws ain't got no constitution. They got a right to live their own life. We keep paving over paradise, cause we're only human. Yes, we are only human. That's our only excuse. Why do you think we keep on being only human? Yes, we are only human, only human. So far, because we're only human. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. So far, so far. Thank you.
The dogs approve. So will our chaplains who are on duty come forward with me? So we're going to call out the dogs first that are watching. So that's Desmond Bunny, Stella the dog, and newly adopted kittens, Durius, Edie, and Ellie. Those are our animals that are watching today. And our people are MJ, Carla, Margaret, Louise, Faith, Marcia, Susan, John, Eli, and Ben. They're all on Vashon Island. Gary and Lynn. Nola, it says that you're right here, so maybe that's from last week. Maybe there's another Nola.
Wow.
Kathy, Diane, Kay, Carol, Lori, Terry, and Tracy. All right, so let's just take a moment as we prepare for prayer. So we begin by dedicating and consecrating the gifts that you have given to the will, the work, and the way of the living Spirit of truth. And again, may each giver be given back to 1,000,000-fold. So we hold and we center and bless Roman, who's turning 1, Mike and Ryan and his FEMA team, Steve and Shirley, Bill, Brooke and Susan, the Bleak family, Rick, Nancy, Bob, and Scott, Don, Sabrina, Francis and Steve, Amy, Jim, Jess, Kyle, Lisa and Steve, Marcia, the town of Matter, Georgia, and Jonesboro, Tennessee, and everyone again affected by the floods and the hurricane. We also hold Israel, Gaza, Iran, Ukraine, Russia. If any name or place comes to you, please speak it now. And hold that person, that place in your heart. The light of God surrounds us. I am light. The love of God enfolds us. I am love. The power of God protects us. I am power. The presence of God watches over us. I am presence. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. And that's the truth.
It is. Let's sing one closing song together. I invite you to stand as you are able. Hold hands if you'd like to, but it's always okay to say no thank you for whatever reason. This is Karen Drucker's You Are the Face of God, and you can sing this to anyone or any animal if you would like to. We'll sing it 3 times out. I encourage you to try looking at an actual person in the room. Those of you who are introverts and this like freaks you out, go ahead. Just try a little tiny bit, and then you can turn away. Wait, here we go. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are a part of me. You are the face